Siapa yang berdiri lebih api ketarikan mereka. Yang benaran dalam lantai kemana. Hancurkan tirani busuk ini. Jangan diam, hayo berdiri. Push mereka takut suara kita. Keberlawan mereka lawan semua. Korupsi, lewat proteksional. Luka yang untuk kami. Saja sesuatu mereka tertawa. Saja bergengor semua. Korupsi, lewat proteksional. Luka yang untuk kami. Lalu berkelahi busuk ini. Bangsa duiti, habis waktumu. Mereka mati, lawan bangsamu. Hanya sudah topengmu. Tirani busuk akan runtuh. Feed the flames, selling war a deadly game. Bloody money hand in hand, peace is just a broken plan. War without end, no hope, no peace. Hatred spreads, the dead increase. We fight, we kill, we die. History repeats, but nothing's changed. Cities burn, the world is bleeding, while the rich keep on feeding. Weapons built, deals are signed, they keep us blind. White march in line, no escape, no way out. Bodies buried, space controlled. That was war, no one wins. Only death, only sins. War without end, no hope, no peace. Hatred spreads, the dead increase. We fight, we kill, we die. And history repeats, but nothing's changed. War without end, no hope, no peace. Hatred spreads, the dead increase. We fight, we kill, we die. And history repeats, but nothing's changed. No escape, no way out. Bodies buried, screams controlled. Now it's war, no one wins. Only death, only sins. War without end, no hope, no peace. Hatred spreads the dead, increase. We fight, we kill, we die in vain. History repeats, but nothing's changed. The guns won't stop, the war machine. Peace is just a shattered dream. Power, greed, control, deceit. The world is lost, there's no retreat. Without end, no hope, no peace. Peace is just a shattered dream. Power, greed, control, deceit. The world is lost, there's no retreat. In the shadows of the night, the walls start to fall. Cities turn to rubble as the innocent crawl. The cries of the children echo through the air, while the world just watches without a care. Oh, leaders of the war, will you wage this fight? In the name of power, you bring endless night. With every life lost, the world becomes less bright. Echoes of war, tearing us apart. Oh, leaders of the world, why do you wage this fight? In the name of power, you bring endless night. With every life lost, the world becomes less bright. Echoes of war, tearing us apart. Echoes of war in every land. The cries of the people we must understand. With hearts full of anger and eyes full of tears, we demand peace to end these years. In the name of freedom, they justify the pain. But the scars of war will always remain. The soldiers of fight are just pausing a game, while the powerful sit back and never take the blame. Oh, leaders of the war, will you wage this fight? In the name of power, you bring endless night. With every life lost, the world becomes less bright. Echoes of war, tearing us apart. Echoes of war in every land. The cries of the people we must understand. With hearts full of anger and eyes full of tears, we demand peace to end these years. We won't be silent, we won't stand by. For every life taken, we must testify. Together we rise against the tide of hate. For a world of peace, we must create. Echoes of war tearing us apart. Echoes of war in every land. The cries of the people we must understand. With hearts full of anger and eyes full of tears, we demand peace to end these years. Echoes of war may fade away, replaced by the sounds of a brighter day. With hope in our hearts and courage in our hands, we'll fight for peace across all the lands. In the name of freedom, they justify the pain, but the scars of war will always remain. The soldiers who fight are just pawns in a game, while the powerful sit back and never take the blame. But we won't be silent, we won't be silent, we won't be silent, we won't stand by. For it won't be, we won't be years. We won't be years. We won't be years. Silent, we won't stand by. For every life taken, we must testify. Together we rise against the tide of hate. For a world of peace, we must create. We won't be silent, we won't stand by. For every life taken, we must testify. Together we rise against the tide of hate. For a world of peace, we must create. We must create. Another pain. Another pain. Another pain. No more war. No more lies, no more war, no more bodies on the floor, no more profits built for pain. Tear the system, break the chain. No more lies, no more war, no more bodies on the floor, no more profits built for pain. Tear the system, break the chain. Another pain. Another war, another pain. No more lies, no more war, no more bodies on the floor, no more profits built for pain. Tear the system, break the chain. No peace, no future, no hope, just torture. We fight, we bleed, we die in vain. Another war, another pain. No peace, no future, no hope, just torture. We fight, we bleed, we die in vain. Another war, another pain. Untung, oh teman yang palsu, mengapa kau begitu munafik? Kau buat aku percaya, lalu kau buat aku hancur. Di saat aku terjatuh, kau pun pergi tanpa jejak. Teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Teman brengsek hanya datang saat menguntungkan. Di saat aku terjatuh, kau pun pergi menghindar. Dengan amarah di dada, aku melihat jelas. Teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Kau bilang kau temanku, tapi hanya di bibir. Saat aku butuhkan, kau pun pergi tanpa kabar. Kau buat aku merasa aman, lalu kau buat aku terjebak. Teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Oh teman yang palsu, mengapa kau begitu munafik? Kau buat aku percaya, lalu kau buat aku hancur. Di saat aku terjatuh, kau pun pergi tanpa jejak. Teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Teman brengsek hanya datang saat menguntungkan. Di saat aku terjatuh, kau pun pergi menghindar. Dengan amarah di dada, aku melihat jelas. Teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Tapi aku tak akan diam, aku akan bangkit lagi. Dengan kekuatan baru, aku akan lawan semua ini. Kau tak akan bisa lagi membuatku terjatuh, karena aku tahu siapa dirimu sebenarnya. Teman brengsek hanya datang saat menguntungkan. Di saat aku terjatuh, kau pun pergi menghindar. Dengan amarah di dada, aku melihat jelas. Teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Teman brengsek, kini aku tahu kau layak jadi temanan yang beban yang kau bawa. Dengan semangat yang baru, aku akan terus maju. Tanpa teman brengsek, aku akan temukan yang sejati. Penjelasan teman yang suasana, lagu ini mengekspresikan perasaan dikhianati dan kekecewaan terhadap teman yang hanya datang saat menguntungkan dan menghindar saat kita terjatuh. Suasana lagu ini intens dan penuh amarah, tetapi juga mengandung pesan kekuatan dan perlawanan. Lirik yang jujur dan penuh emosi, menggambarkan dengan jelas pengalaman dikhianati dan perasaan yang muncul akibat dari lagu teman yang munafik. pesan kekuatan dan perlawanan. Meskipun penuh
teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Teman brengsek hanya datang saat menguntungkan. Di saat aku terjatuh, kau pun pergi menghindar. Dengan amarah di dada, aku melihat jelas. Teman brengsek hanya mencari untung. Dan benarnya.
in the city of dreams, the rich get richer while the poor get crushed under the system's finger. All the skyscrapers rise, touching the sky, while the homeless shiver as the years go by. Oh, the great divide, why do we let it grow? With every passing day the gap gets wider, you know. The wealthy feast while the hungry cry. The great divide, a silent deadly lie. The great divide tearing us apart. With every dollar earned they break another heart. In the streets we march with voices loud and clear. We demand justice for all who live in fear. In the halls of power, they make the rules, while the working class struggles in underfunded schools. The system is rigged from the ground up, and the poor keep falling as the rich fill their cup. Oh, the great divide, why do we let it grow? With every passing day the gap gets wider, you know. The wealthy feast while the hungry cry. The great divide, a silent deadly lie. The great divide tearing us apart. With every dollar earned they break another heart. In the streets we march with voices loud and clear. We demand justice for all who live in fear. The great heavy lines tearing us apart. With every dollar earned they break another heart. In the streets we march with voices loud and clear. We demand justice for all who live in fear. We won't back down, we won't give in. For every life affected, we'll raise our voice again. Together we stand against the tide of greed. For a world that's equal, we must succeed. The great divide tearing us apart. With every dollar earned, they break another heart. In the streets we march with voices loud and clear. We demand justice for all who live in fear. The great divide must come to an end. With unity and strength we'll make amends. For a future that's right for everyone, we'll fight the divide until it's gone. Until it's gone. The great heavy line must come to an end. With unity and strength we'll make amends. For a future that's bright for everyone, we'll fight the divide until it's gone. hope, but the spirit never dies, it only grows stronger. With every step we take, we fight for freedom. Oh, silent world, why do you turn away? Under the rubble, they still find a way. With blood and tears, they stand and defy. Free Palestine, a cry that we can't deny. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine, a cry that we can't deny. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine will fight till they're home. In every corner of the city, there's a story of courage. Children and women, martyrs in the struggle. They'll never surrender, they'll keep on fighting for the hope of freedom that keeps on burning. Silent world, why do you turn away? Under the rubble, they still find a way. With blood and tears, they stand and defy. Free Palestine, a cry that we can't deny. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine, a cry that we can't deny. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine will fight till they're home. We can't stay silent, we must raise our voice. For every life lost, we must demand justice. Together we rise against the injustice. Free Palestine till they have no choice. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine will fight till they're home. Free Palestine, it's not just a chant, but a promise we make till they have what they want. With burning passion we march on. Free Palestine until the battle is won. In the land it's been stolen, voices of silence, oppression and violence become the daily trial. But the spirit never dies, it only grows stronger. With every step they take, they fight for freedom. Oh silent world, why do you turn away? Under the rubble, they still find a way. With blood and tears, they stand and defy. Free Palestine, a cry that we can't deny. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine will fight till they're home. In every corner of the city, there's a story of courage. Children and women, martyrs in this struggle. But they'll never surrender, they'll keep on fighting for the hope of freedom that keeps on burning. Oh silent world, why do you turn away? Under the rubble, they still find a way. With blood and tears, they stand and defy. Free Palestine, a cry that we can't deny. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine will fight till they're home. In every corner of the city, there's a story of courage. Children and women, martyrs in this struggle. But they'll never surrender, they'll keep on fighting for the hope of freedom that keeps on burning. Oh silent world, why do you turn away? Under the rubble, they still find a way. With blood and tears, they stand and defy. Free Palestine, a cry that we can't deny. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine will fight till they're home. We can't stay silent, we must raise our voice. For every life lost, we must demand justice. Together we rise against the injustice. Free Palestine, till they have no choice. Free Palestine from tyranny and pain. With every prayer we stand with them in the rain. On the front lines, they're not alone. Free Palestine will fight till they're home. Free Palestine, it's not just a chant, but a promise we make till they have what they want. With burning passion we march on. Free Palestine. game, you went away. A jerk friend, only looking for profit. Oh, faithman, why you so hypocritical? You made me believe and you destroyed me. When I found you left without a trace. A jerk friend, only looking for profit. A jerk friend only comes when it's profitable. When I found you right away, with anger in my chest I saw clearly. A jerk friend, only looking for profit. You said you were my friend, but only on lip service. When I needed you, you left without a word. You made me feel safe, then you trapped me. A jerk friend, only looking for profit. Oh, fake friend, why you so hypocritical? You made me believe, then you destroyed me. When I found you left without a trace. A jerk friend, only looking for profit. A jerk friend only comes when it's profitable. When I found you right away, with anger in my chest I saw clearly. A jerk friend, only looking for profit. But I won't stay silent, I will rise again. With new strength, I will fight all this. You will no longer be able to make me fall, because I know who you really are. A jerk friend only comes when it's profitable. When I found you right away, with anger in my chest I saw clearly. A jerk friend, only looking for profit. A jerk friend, no, I know. You're not worthy of being a friend, you're just a burden. With new spirits, I will continue to move forward. Without jerk friends, I will find no real one. Explanation. Demon Mood. This song expresses the feeling of being betrayed and disappointed by friends who only come when it is beneficial and avoid us when we fall. The mood of this song is intense and full of anger, but also contains a message of strength and resistance. Honest and emotional lyrics clearly describes the experience of being betrayed and the feelings that arise due to the behavior of hypocritical friends. Message of strength and resistance, although full of a jerk friend only comes when it's profitable. When I found you right away, with anger in my chest I saw clearly. A jerk friend only looking for profit. But I won't stay silent, I will rise again. With new strength, I will fight all this. You will no longer be able to make me fall, because I know who you really are. But I won't stay silent, I will rise again. With new strength, I will fight all this. You will no longer be able to make me fall, because I know who you really are. Temanku, tapi di belakang kau menusuk. Kemunafikanmu membuatku muak. Oh sahabatku palsu, mengapa kau begitu munafik? Kau buat aku percaya, lalu kau buat aku hancur. Di setiap langkahku, kau buat aku terjatuh. Kemunafikanmu membuatku muak. Kemunafikan di balik senyum. Kau buat aku percaya, lalu ku aku hancur. Di setiap langkahku, kau buat aku terjatuh. Kemunafikanmu membuatku muak. Kemunafikan di balik senyum. Kau buat aku percaya, lalu kau buat aku hancur. Di setiap kata yang kau ucapkan, ada kebohongan yang kau sembunyikan. Kau buat aku merasa aman, lalu kau buat aku terjebak di dalam permainanmu. Aku hadapi yang jatuh. Kau bilang kau di sampingku, tapi kau hanya di bibir. Kemunafikanmu membuatku muak. Oh sahabat yang palsu, mengapa kau begitu munafik? Kau buat aku percaya, lalu kau buat aku hancur. Di setiap langkahku, kau buat aku terjatuh. Kemunafikanmu membuatku muak. Kemunafikan di balik senyum. Kau buat aku percaya, lalu kau buat aku hancur. Di setiap aku tak akan diam, aku akan melawan. Dengan suara yang lantang, aku akan ungkapkan. Kau tak akan bisa lagi membuatku terjebak, karena aku tahu siapa dirimu sebenarnya. Kemunafikan di balik senyum, kau buat aku percaya, lalu kau buat aku hancur. Di setiap kata yang kau ucapkan, hanya kebohongan yang kau sembunyikan. Kemunafikanmu tak akan bisa lagi menyakitiku, karena aku telah belajar untuk melihat yang sebenarnya. Dengan semangat yang baru, aku akan terus maju, menghadapi dunia tanpa rasa takut lagi. They built their castles with stone and gold, laughing while the poor were cold. Justice fades a broken day, liars rise but who's to blame? Hands and pockets taking raw, blessings on the office floor. Truth is buried, left to die, all the people scream and cry. Our lands rotten, system rigged and blind. Under justice, falls but they don't mind. Under money, toss the weak will crawl. Burning down, destroy it all. They built their castles with stone and gold, laughing while the poor were cold. Justice fades a broken game, liars rise with who's to blame? Hands and pockets taking more, blessings on the office floor. Truth is buried, left to die, while the people scream and cry. Broken pockets, system rigged and blind. Justice falls, but they don't mind. Lying talks, the weak will crawl. Burn it down, destroy it all. Destroy it all. Laws are weapons for the few, while the hungry beg for food. Empty promises, poison lies. A nation drowns while power thrives. No more silence, no more chains. Tear it down, bring the flames. No more silence, no more chains. And fight back, scream their names. Destroy it all. Violence, rotten, system rigged and blind. Under justice, those but they don't mind. Under money, towards the weak will crawl. Burn it down, destroy it all. Laws are weapons for the few, not the blind. Justice falls, but they don't mind. Lying talks, the weak will crawl. Burn it down, destroy it all. No more silence, no more chains. Tear it down, bring the flames. No more silence, no more chains. And fight back, scream the names. No more silence, no more crawl. Burn it down, bring the flames. No more silence, no more chains. And fight back, scream the names. No more trust, no more faith. Power kills, it's all too late. Break the phones, make them pay. Corruption ends with us today. Destroy it all. Destroy it all.